This has got to be one of the biggest areas that Toyota cheaped out on the new Tacoma. You'll find it if you take the chin strap or the air dam off of the front. You know, it looks so much better without it, in my opinion. That kind of square, rectangular look that you get when it's on there, nah, it had to go. And let me tell you, as far as fuel economy goes, that's what a lot of people have said. Oh, it'll knock 5 miles per gallon off. If it knocks 1 mile per gallon off, I would be surprised. But personal preference, do what you like. I got rid of mine. I just think the truck looks much better. I had done it on all of my third gens as well when they had it on. But when you take it off, you're going to discover the cheapest thing that Toyota did on this truck. And I'm talking about this skid plate. Is it really a skid plate? I don't know what it is. It feels almost like a cloth material. It's kind of some impregnated something, I think, but very flimsy, very cheap. I'm sure it costs them next to nothing to have this thing made. And frankly, it's just garbage. Doesn't afford really any protection, I don't think, underneath, unless of course you're hitting little pebbles and things like that flying up. But get a big enough rock or something, you're gonna probably go right through this. So I am gonna replace it. I finally found something that I like. I could have gone with a TRD skid plate, but frankly, they're very expensive, $500-600, and I just really was not willing to spend that kind of money to come up with a solution, I guess. So I'll tell you in a minute. I'll show you the pricing of what I've got. It's on order, it's coming, should be here within a couple of days, and then we'll have an install video. Now, I will tell you, if you do replace this, you are going to need two parts. You're going to need the skid plate itself, obviously, and then you're going to need a cross member that goes across here. Because if you don't have, I think it's the TRD Off-Road or the Pro, you're not going to have the cross member to fasten the new part to. So make sure you get that. It's not that expensive. I think it's 20 to 40 bucks if I recall. We'll see here in just a minute. But the new one is going to bolt on to that, I believe, we'll see when we get it, that cross member here in the front, and then some bolt-on spots in the back, undoubtedly right here and probably right here, and then I believe it extends a little further back to give you a little bit more protection back there as well. Now, I mentioned what I went with this time is truly an aftermarket. It is not the TRD version. I bought it from RCI Off-Road. They were having a Labor Day sale too, so that really didn't hurt in my decision. But what I've got, and I'll put a picture of this up at the end so that you guys can see if you want to check it out, maybe order it yourself. But it says here, front skid plate mounting cross member, 24 to present Tacoma, which is what you need. It is $38.99, so we'll call it 40 bucks, right? And then the skid plate, of course, and it's labeled as an engine skid plate, 24 to present Tacoma. What I chose to get is the 3/16" steel black powder coated. So mine's going to be black. I didn't want to put anything on the front that was chromish or silver or whatever, and you do have that option. Now, speaking of options, there are a couple of different ways you can go with this. If you're looking at the RCI product, you can go with steel or you can go with aluminum. Obviously, aluminum is going to weigh less. I think it's the difference, don't quote me, but I believe it's 27 pounds-ish versus 60-some pounds-ish for the steel. We shall see. I can't imagine it's that heavy. 60-some pounds, that seems awfully heavy to me, but we'll find out when I get it, I guess, and when I pick it up. Pricing on the skid plate, $339.99, 340 bucks. So you're looking at about $380 plus the shipping. You have to include that unless you run into a sale or maybe a vendor that's going to ship something for free. Shipping for something like this, I believe it's coming from Colorado, I think, to me is $61. I'm rounding up. Tax, 35 bucks here where I am. It's going to give me a grand total of $475.04. In the end, after shipping and tax and everything else on a TRD version, It's going to save me right about 200 bucks probably. And I think it's well worth it to go with this as opposed to the TRD version, except for one thing. On the TRD version, you do get the TRD lettering on the skid plate itself. I've had that on other trucks. I really do like that. I think it looks good. So what I might do is go ahead and buy those letters, TRD. Of course, I'll get them in supersonic red from Tough Skins. They sell all that kind of stuff. There is a discount code down below for them, by the way. I've already gotten many things from them in the past. We'll be adding a few other things, but they do have the TRD letters in that bright, brilliant color that they have, no matter what color you get, I suppose. And it would look really good on the front of the truck. But I'll have to see, once I get the new skid plate on there, what the angle is. In other words, once it's on the front of the truck, are you going to be able to see that at all? And I'm not sure if you will. You can see we kind of have the slope on the front on this, I don't know what you'd call it. I guess we'll just call it a front fascia piece. And I'm talking about this piece right down here. You guys can see it underneath. I think that's what you're primarily going to see. It'll depend. If the skid plate kind of angles up like the cheapo one they have right there does, then you're going to see a little bit more. I don't know. We'll find out. It is going to give me a lot more protection. Obviously, having something steel on there or metal of any kind is going to be much better than this cloth junk they have. Another thing that it might solve, I really haven't had this problem, but people have complained about some kind of an air noise or whistling noise once they took the air dam off. I'm guessing it's the way the air flows through those little holes that were created in the front. You can kind of see right across here, you have these holes, if you will, which is merely the bottom of the truck and the top of the faux or junk skid plate that's on there. I think this will take care of that for those that have the issue. Honestly, for me, I haven't had that problem, so I really don't think there's anything to be concerned about for me. Anyway, I just wanted to get on and kind of let you guys know what's coming. Like I said, it should be here within the next couple, 3 days, I think. And then we'll get it on the truck. It should be a pretty easy install. It is supposed to be just a bolt-on, so no cutting or rearranging or anything crazy like that, other than just removing the cheap skid plate that Toyota put on underneath. Leave a comment. Let me know if you've changed yours out, if it bugs you. I'd be curious. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.